subscribe to my channel.
There is something you need to hear today, and I need you to listen carefully, because if you found this message on March 13th, it may not be an accident. Most people will scroll past this moment without realizing that sometimes life places a message directly in front of the person who needs it most, but you didn't scroll away. Something inside you paused. Something inside you felt, wait, and that quiet feeling in your chest right now, the one that says, why does this feel like it's meant for me? That feeling matters, because tonight is not ordinary. Something has been shifting around you for a long time, and you felt it even when you couldn't explain it. The strange obstacles, the unexpected endings, the loneliness that appeared out of nowhere, the doors that closed just when you thought they would open. You thought it was bad luck. You thought maybe you weren't good enough. But what if I told you those moments were not punishments? They were protection. And what if the reason you feel so different from the people around you, the reason your path has felt harder, quieter, and sometimes painfully confusing, is because your life has never been random? Pause for a moment, take a breath, because tonight, March 13th, is the moment many people will begin realizing something that was decided long before they understood it. You see, people who are chosen for growth, for awakening, for purpose, rarely walk an easy road. They walk a refining road, and refining road look very different from the outside. From the outside, it looks like loss. It looks like rejection. It looks like failure. But internally, something else is happening. You are being prepared. Think about your life honestly for a moment. How many times did something fall apart just when you were sure it was going to work? How many times did someone leave your life without explanation? How many nights did you sit alone, wondering why your heart felt heavier than everyone else's? You started questioning yourself, maybe I'm the problem, maybe I'm too emotional, maybe I expect too much. But here's what most people never realize. Sensitive people, aware people, spiritually awake people often carry more weight than others because they notice what others ignore. You see patterns, you feel energy, you sense when something is wrong even before anyone says a word. And that awareness, while powerful, can also make life feel lonely, because not everyone sees the world the way you do. Not everyone feels things as deeply as you do. And for years, you might have believed that this sensitivity was your weakness. But I want you to hear something very clearly tonight. Your sensitivity is not your weakness. It is your compass. It is the quiet signal system that guides you away from what would harm you and toward what will eventually transform you. But here is the difficult part most people struggle to accept. Before transformation, there is almost always disruption. Before clarity, there is confusion. Before elevation, there is isolation. Look back at your life again. Some of the people you trusted most disappointed you. Some of the opportunities you believed in disappeared. Some of the dreams you worked for suddenly collapsed. And every time it happened, you felt like the ground beneath your life was shaking. But there is something about shaking foundations that people misunderstand. Sometimes foundations shake not because your life is falling apart, but because your life is being realigned, and realignment can be uncomfortable. It can feel unfair. It can make you question everything. You might even feel like you're walking through life slightly disconnected, like everyone else received a manual for living and you didn't. But what if the reason your path has been different is because your destination is different? Chosen people rarely walk crowded roads. They walk roads that feel uncertain at first. They walk roads where faith grows slowly. They walk roads where strength is built quietly. And right now, on March 13th, something important is happening. Impermanent is happening internally for many people who've been walking this kind of path. The realization that your struggles were not meaningless. The realization that the things that hurt you were shaping you. The realization that the pain you survived gave you insight that cannot be taught. And tomorrow, March 14th, may not look dramatically different on the outside. The sky will still rise. People will still go to work. The world will continue moving exactly as it always does. But inside you, something can shift. And when internal shifts happen, life begins changing in ways that feel almost mysterious. Because the moment you understand your past differently, you start walking through your future differently. Let me tell you a quiet psychological truth that many people never learn. The human mind constantly searches for meaning. When painful events happen without meaning, the brain interprets them as proof that life is unfair or that you are powerless. But when pain gains meaning, the brain interprets it as growth, and that one shift changes everything. Suddenly the rejection becomes redirection. The loss becomes preparation. The silence becomes space. And once your mind starts seeing your life through that lens, your emotional power begins returning to you. Think about the strongest people you know. Not the loudest, not the most confident on the surface, the strongest. Most of them didn't become strong through easy lives. They became strong through experiences that forced them to face themselves. Moments where they had to rebuild their identity. Moments where they had to trust their inner voice even when no one else understood it. Moments where they realized that being alone for a while was better than being surrounded by the wrong people. And that realization is one of the most powerful turning points in any life. Because once you truly understand your value, you stop chasing environments that cannot recognize it. You stop begging for acceptance. You stop shrinking your personality just to make others comfortable. You start protecting your peace. Quietly, firmly, without apology, and strangely enough, that is when the right people begin appearing. Not because you changed who you are, but because you stopped hiding who you are. Now here's the part many people find difficult to hear. When your life begins aligning with your deeper purpose, some people will drift away. Not because you did something wrong, but because alignment changes energy. People who thrived around your confusion may feel uncomfortable around your clarity. People who benefited from your self-doubt may feel threatened by your confidence. People who liked the version of you that stayed quiet may not understand the version of you that finally speaks. And that's okay. Growth naturally reorganizes relationships. It doesn't mean you hate those people. It simply means your direction is changing. And as March 14th approaches, that direction may start becoming clearer for you. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in subtle ways. You might feel less interested in things that used to drain you. You might feel a stronger desire to protect your time. You might notice that your intuition feels louder, that quiet inner voice saying, this is right, this is wrong, walk away, move forward. Most people ignore that voice, but chosen people eventually learn to trust it because that voice has guided them through. Things logic could not explain. Remember the times you felt a strange feeling about a person and later realized that feeling was correct. Remember the moments when something told you to leave a situation and late you were grateful you did. That inner guidance has always been there, but pain often makes us doubt it. We start asking other people what we should do. We start seeking approval from people who don't truly understand us. We start silencing our instincts just to avoid conflict. And slowly, we disconnect from ourselves. But here is the beautiful thing about self-awareness. Once you reconnect with your inner voice, life begins feeling lighter, decisions become clearer, boundaries become stronger. Your energy stops leaking into places that were never meant for you, and something powerful begins happening psychologically. You stop reacting to life. You start directing it. That doesn't mean everything becomes easy. It means everything becomes easy. It means everything becomes intentional. You begin choosing what conversations deserve your energy. You begin choosing the environments that nourish your growth. And those choices create ripple effects, small at first, but powerful over time. Imagine the version of you that wakes up tomorrow, understanding that your past struggles were not signs of failure, but signs of preparation. Imagine the version of you that stops apologizing for needing peace. Imagine the version of you that trusts your instincts without second-guessing every decision. That version of you already exists. It's not someone you have to become. It's someone you have to remember. Because deep down, beneath the doubts, beneath the fears, beneath the painful memories, you've always known you were capable of more. You felt it as a child. You felt it in quiet moments when your mind wandered into dreams about the life you could create. And maybe life distracted you from those dreams for a while. Responsibilities, disappointments, heartbreak. But dreams don't disappear. They wait patiently for the moment when you're ready to believe in them again. And sometimes all it takes is a single realization. The realization that your story is not finished. The realization that the chapter you're in right now is not the ending. The realization that the strength you built through hardship is exactly what will allow you to step into the next phase of your life. So tonight, on March 13th, instead of focusing on what went wrong in your past, focus on what those experiences taught you. Focus on the resilience you built. Focus on the wisdom you earned, because wisdom earned through pain is one of the rarest and most powerful forms of intelligence. It teaches you who to trust. It teaches you when to walk away. It teaches you how to protect your heart without closing it. And tomorrow, March 14th, When the day begins, I want you to remember something simple but powerful. You are not behind in life. You are not lost. You are not broken. You're evolving, and evolution is rarely comfortable, but it is always meaningful. So walk into tomorrow with a quiet confidence, not loud, not arrogant, just steady. The kind of confidence that says, I survived things that once felt impossible. I learnt lessons that made me stronger. And I trust that my life is still unfolding exactly as it needs to, because sometimes the biggest shift in your life doesn't happen outside of you. It happens inside the moment you decide that your story is not defined by the pain you experienced, but by the strength you built because of it. And when you truly understand that, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop the person you are becoming. Can stop the person you are becoming.